What's the highest hill around here?
That one over there. It's a pretty cool time to go up because everyone will have come off the hill now. So I started mountain biking back in the 80s and 90s when I was a teenager, and I always did it for a bit of just fun and adventure. I've always done a load of miles, but I never really raced. And then in my late 30s, one day I just woke up and I was like, right, I want to have a go at racing. And that's what I did. I had some success as a middle distance and 24-hour racer, and I won some medals, but it didn't always go to plan. But over the years, the thing that became the real pull for me was multi-day, ultra-endurance and bikepacking stuff. I think the self-supported nature of it, the risk management and the exposure summed up what I really loved about mountain biking the most. And then James came along. So James grew up amongst all of that, with bikes continually in the house and stories of adventures, and even before he could stand there was a balance bike in the front room and he'd be climbing on it and playing with it. And it kind of progressed from there to where he was riding to school every day. He was never driven or wanted to be, and he wanted to do more riding at the weekend. As a parent, I'd almost felt guilty, as though I'd somehow pushed him into kind of my hobby. But then I remember James has always been a really strong-willed person, so even if I wanted to discourage him from something, I don't think I'd be able to. All you've really got to do as a parent is support him in the best way possible. And for me, that often meant trying to keep him from hurting himself. When he got to around 7 years old, we started taking him out on overnight rides, camping or staying in shooting huts, and he absolutely loved it. Again, you're trying to gently keep a lid on things, but he was always wanting to push the physical and technicality of our rides, so things started to really progress until we got to the point where we were doing some proper big multi-day adventures. He was only still around 8 at this point, and me and my wife Charlotte were thinking, what have we created? I wouldn't call him hyper by any stretch of the imagination, but he has this kind of almost limitless, steady energy, which means he can just keep going and going and going. And while it's super fun, it can also be a bit tiring at points. So yeah, it's looking pretty good tonight.
Yeah, luckily.
We should have enough for tonight.
Yeah, definitely.
So how does that tyre pressure feel now?
A bit softer, a bit better in turns.
I think it was when James was 9 years old that he first inevitably uttered the words Highland Trail 550. He'd seen me race it multiple times, and now he really wanted to try the route. It's a 550-mile loop through the Scottish Highlands across exposed and extremely challenging terrain. It's very isolated, and there's vast stretches of no resupply and pretty much nothing. And if the weather's bad, you can get into trouble very quickly. We built things up slowly over a few years, going on longer and longer rides, and of course working on the safety aspects of things until we both really felt ready. He was 11 at this point, so it would also make him the youngest rider to have ever completed the route, which even at that age, I think really mattered and motivated him. You all right?
What?
Feel okay?
Yeah, I feel fine.
All right, crack on then.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie, I was a bit nervous, but completing the Highland Trail 550 with James has to be one of the most satisfying things I've ever done on a bike. I love helping people achieve things, and helping my son achieve something as big as that was really, really special. I know from my own experiences how intimidating it can be when you've got hundreds of miles and possibly days left to ride, and you can really easily start to psych yourself out. But he seems to manage to not think about the difficulty of it. He just enjoys the moment and takes it one day at a time. It took us just over 11 days to complete, and obviously there were some tough moments, but he just enjoyed riding his bike all day, every day. It was a massive achievement, but to him I think it was just a great, big, fun, long adventure on the bike.
I mean, this is just getting ridiculous. Like, we've taken the outdoor life to like the next level. I'm wondering what indoors is like these days. Right, can you get me a hammer, otherwise known as a rock?
Looks nice and cosy.
It does, yeah. Be nice when you can get in it. So you've got a lovely sunset view there.
Indoor lighting.
Indoor lighting, yeah.
Like a holiday.
It is like a holiday. Only way cheaper and much less comfortable.
Looks pretty easy.
Sorry?
It's just a simple straight line slab.
Yeah. James loves doing the endurance challenges, and we've had an amazing time doing them, but he's getting more and more into enduro and technical trail riding. This has actually been brilliant for me though, as it's forced me to step back from lots of endurance stuff, and I'm working on areas that I'm less strong in. But he's starting to get too fast for me now, and I'm just getting to the point where I'm slowing him down. He's going to be 14 in 2025, so he's also getting to that stage where he wants to spend less time with his dad and more time with his friends, which is totally understandable. And we have some of our best conversations on these long rides, and obviously I'll miss spending as much time with him, but it's amazing to see him starting to gain that independence. And having a kid kind of teaches you to live in the moment. It's a real cliche, but the years really do fly by, so I'm definitely trying to make the most of the time we get to spend together. You know, I could have probably made other choices, possibly made some more sensible financial ones, but then I wouldn't have been able to have the freedom to spend as much time as I have done with James. I'm also 53 now, and I still love racing, and I still am racing, but I'm not getting any younger, so I've been trying to spend more time working with the wider mountain bike community. Whether that's coaching other riders or putting on my own event, it's another cliche, but seeing others get so much out of the sport that I love gives me the same kick as doing a big ride or a race myself. But we do have another big goal on the horizon, the Arizona Trail race in October 2024. It's 816 miles long. We'll have to deal with 40 degrees heat and possibly at some points extreme cold. And it includes a hiker bike through the Grand Canyon, which is definitely going to test the both of us. It'll be hard to follow the Highland Trail 550, but that route, from everything I've heard, is a real tough one. And these days I've got to think of huge ideas like this to keep him interested in the endurance stuff and to keep him spending time with me. I guess all these years I've spent riding with James has brought me full circle back to where I started, which was going on adventures, scaring myself on some downhills, pushing myself physically, while not really thinking about competition at all. So yeah, I'm just really excited to see how he's going to develop as a rider and a person, and see how his endurance develops and his trail riding skills. But I know now that I bought him a trail bike, I'm toast on the downhills.